might think your dog just sees your tears and comes over to comfort you, but that idea is actually completely wrong. Way before you shed your first tear, they already sense the real pain inside you. This isn't some magical sixth sense or a made-up story from a movie. It is a fully proven biological process with really deep roots. Your dog is so wired into your nervous system that your hidden grief directly affects their body too. Maybe you are going through a really hard time right now that you just can't talk to anyone about. Maybe you were just sitting alone in your car, crying over the steering wheel in a Target parking lot. You didn't want anyone in your family or your loved ones to see this temporary weakness, so you wiped your tears, put on a normal fake smile, and walked into the house. You honestly thought you hid your pain perfectly from everyone. They probably see that sad smile on your face and figure it out. No, wait. They actually don't look at your smiles or tears at all, because when you opened that door and walked inside, your body was giving off a totally different signal, something that you and I just cannot see with the naked eye. But your dog can pick up those invisible signals right away using their own body. You will notice that on bad days like this, your dog hangs around you a little more than usual. Instead of jumping around with their favorite toy, they might just sit quietly right at your feet. Even their appetite suddenly drops off completely, or they just turn away from their food, and you probably start worrying that your dog suddenly got sick for some reason. The truth is, they aren't physically sick with a virus or a bad stomach. They are just absorbing your unspoken, intense pain like a sponge. Scientists call this weird phenomenon emotional contagion. It works a lot like a human laugh. When someone laughs out loud right in front of you, you naturally start smiling without even realizing it. In the exact same way, your internal stress or grief spreads into your dog really fast. But you are probably wondering exactly how they sense this hidden grief when you aren't showing a single thing. Behind this is a pretty amazing piece of science called heart rate variability, or HRV. Our heartbeats don't tick away perfectly in time like a clock. There are really tiny millisecond changes in there that show the true state of our nervous system. When you are under a ton of pressure inside or feeling deep grief, your HRV rate actually drops. Your body shifts straight from a normal state right into survival mode. And the craziest part is that your dog's HRV rate starts dropping at the exact same time. Their heartbeat logically starts syncing up and matching the rhythm of your own heart. That means when you hurt inside for any reason, your dog's body goes through the exact same physical stress. This isn't a coincidence at all. It is the result of thousands of years of evolution. Studies clearly show that the longer you live under the same roof with a dog, the more this syncing rate goes up. If you adopted a dog just a month or two ago, this biological connection won't be nearly as strong. But if they've been with you day after day for years, your nervous systems practically tie together like a string. They get so deeply wrapped up in your life that every heavy sigh you take directly impacts their heart rate. A recent Italian study actually looked at this, involving over 400 dog owners. They all had at least 2 dogs at home, and unfortunately, one of them suddenly passed away. The researchers' main question was, does a dog actually mourn their dead companion like humans do? But the results of this study totally shocked the scientists. They found that the depth of the surviving dog's grief didn't really depend on how much time they spent with their dead companion. Instead, it depended the most on the emotional state of the dog's owner. If the owner broke down really hard over the dead dog, the surviving dog's appetite dropped the fastest. They even started getting scared for no reason and refused to leave the owner's side for a single second. Your grief or anger directly becomes the main driving force behind your dog's behavior. Because when you blow up in anger or sadness, your dog treats it like a real-life threat or danger. This proves that without even realizing it, you are completely controlling your dog's entire world. A lot of researchers think this emotional contagion is way stronger, especially in female dogs, because the maternal instinct inside them makes them way more caring towards their family members. They are just naturally born way more sensitive to their owner's emotional state. But this heartbeat isn't the only way they know what's going on inside you. When our body is under stress or fear, special chemicals come out with our sweat from glands right under our skin. In science, they call these chemical compounds chemosignals. You probably don't notice the smell of your own fear or mental pressure at all because human noses just aren't that advanced. But your dog's nose is thousands of times more powerful and sensitive than a human's, which means when you are totally stressed out, your dog kind of shrinks back and closes up too. They pick up that hidden scent of fear and grief right out of the air. When they catch this negative smell, the right side of their brain gets super active. This acts as a massive danger warning for them. They realize that something is very wrong in the environment, and it is terrifying their favorite person from the inside out. So they come and sit right next to you, either to protect you or just to give you emotional comfort, they completely forget about their normal routine or playtime right then. Instead of playing or running around, they just keep their eyes locked on you the whole time. Because keeping you safe instantly becomes the biggest job in the world to them. They want to save you from this invisible danger, even if it takes their own little life. I honestly don't know exactly how a dog processes this weird concept of human death or loss in their brain, but they can read and decode even the tiniest expressions on our faces really well. When they see human expressions of anger, sadness, or fear, dogs react in their own language too. But even if you hide your face or look the other way, they will just look into your eyes and figure out how you really feel, because a hormone called oxytocin plays a massive role in this strange bond between dogs and humans. A lot of us casually call this hormone the love hormone or the bonding hormone. When you look into your dog's eyes with affection, oxytocin releases in both of your bodies. This exact hormone is what has built this crazy attachment and deep connection between you for thousands of years. This hormonal loop doesn't work with humans and wild wolves, which just proves how different dogs really are. But there is a pretty negative side to this intense love that we almost always forget. Your dog loves you so much that even your smallest emotional pain physically hurts them. You probably think your dog is just keeping you company and comforting you through a rough patch, but at the same time, without even knowing it, you are transferring your own stress and grief right into their little body. After learning this, a lot of dog owners might deal with some really deep guilt. You might feel like your sweet pet is suffering for absolutely no reason just because of your own anxiety or depression. But to be totally honest, there is no reason to sit around feeling bad and guilty over this, because this exchange of emotion and silent understanding is the biggest proof of your real bond. It proves they aren't just some normal pet living in your house. They are a permanent part of your family. They are your most loyal and closest companion who will never walk away from you. So when you go through deep grief or mental pressure in life, do not even try to hide your pain from them. Because even if you try to hide it, their bodies are going to catch it anyway. Instead, give them the chance to stand by your side and love you. Spend a little extra time with them during these hard moments so they feel safe too. Maybe you just spend some time sitting on the couch together, or gently stroke their back, or take them for a quiet walk in the backyard lawn. These tiny things won't just calm your scattered mind. They will also seriously lower the anxiety building up inside your dog. They will know from your touch that no matter how bad things get, you are in this together and everything will be okay eventually. This time you spend together is what will help both of you get through this tough situation the most. This strange relationship between humans and dogs did not happen overnight. Humans and dogs have survived and evolved side by side for nearly 30,000 years. Back in ancient times when people lived in caves, these dogs were their first protectors. When a wild animal came to attack in the dark of night, the dogs were always the first to sense it. Since then, they learned to watch every single human movement and breath incredibly closely, because their own survival literally depended on keeping the humans alive. In our modern world today, we probably don't have that fear of wild animal attacks, but modern stress, depression, and mental exhaustion have moved right into our lives. Your dog still looks at you today with those exact same ancient instincts. The only difference is that now, instead of wild animals, they see the mental monsters inside you. When you sit in front of your laptop totally overwhelmed by work stress, they definitely know you are in danger. They might come over and gently place their little paw right on your hand. This is just their way of telling you that I am here and you are not alone. But the problem is, we humans mostly miss these signals completely. We might get annoyed and push them away, or tell them not to bother us right now. This rejection just makes them way more confused and terrified, because their brain is flashing signals that you are in danger, and you are shoving them away. This spikes their own stress levels even higher and makes them act out. They might start chewing up stuff around the house or barking a lot for no reason. A lot of people then think the dog is just being bad or acting disobedient, but they are actually just trying to let out all that internal anxiety and mental pressure. So when your dog wants to come to you over and over during your pain, never chase them away constantly. Give them a quick hug, or just pet their head a few times. This tiny little touch will calm both of your heart rates right back down like magic. Let them know that you got their warning and you have the situation totally under control now. This will turn off that panic mode inside them and let them sleep peacefully. You might think that a dog and a human can only understand each other so much, but science keeps proving to us that this bond is so much deeper and more complex than we ever imagined. They might not speak our language, but they can read every single vibration of our bodies. That silent presence and the warmth of your dog's body will give you a level of deep emotional support that the most expensive therapist in the world probably can't even give you. Because they never judge you or point out your mistakes. They just know that you are their whole world and their only shelter. And if the sky in their world is cloudy, there is no way they can ever sleep in peace. Every silent sigh you take echoes directly inside their heart.